Hey Pioneers, Ashley here. I just got back from an IDA documentary distribution panel. IDA is the International Documentary Association. So now I know everything about documentary distribution. No, I don't. They had people there from different distribution platforms, even a filmmaker who self-distributed. Their biggest note was to create your audience before you ever even get to the screening phase. I found that valuable. I mean, that's what we're doing. I mean, the whole point is Pioneers and Skirts is how do women succeed in the workplace? Well, you're watching it right now. You're watching us try to succeed in making this movie because we want to help the women who feel the same way that we do. And on this journey, we're teaming up with other women supporting women to make this movie happen. Their other thing was make sure that you don't sound like a commercial. So hopefully seeing my big red couch makes you feel like this is not a commercial. I think going to these panels are really important just to keep understanding in the industry you're in and bettering yourself as a filmmaker. I mean, if you can go to a panel and you can take one thing away to make your $5 parking worth it, I think it's really valuable. So then came the networking. I have to be in the mood. I think most people have to be in the mood to network. I was at the bar and this guy came up and he said, "I will have a beer." And I said, "I did not know there was beer. I would also like a beer." And then it became awkward about the beer, but then I realized that the guy that asked for the beer was one of the panelists. And I said, "Here's my in." And so I didn't get the beer. I got water. And then I looked at him, and I would not recommend doing this, but I just looked at him and I said, "I have a question. Can I ask you?" And he just stared at me like, "Mm." And then I asked him, I said, "Well, one of our ideas with Pioneers and Skirts is we want to show it in schools. What is that distribution deal like?" He said that their distribution companies want the educational rights to distribute your film, and there are some companies that are just strictly distribution for education. And then I was telling him about the movie. Well, no, he did one of those things that you don't know if you should answer or not. Let me put this down. No. So he did one of those things where you don't know if you should answer. He said, "Who's your audience?" And I thought, when a teacher asks you that, they're like, you don't know if they're actually asking you or if they're just saying this is the thing you should think about later. So I didn't answer. And I was like, interesting. He goes, no, who's your audience? I'm like, oh, for reals, okay. And then he started to say you should definitely think about theatrical. And so I said, okay, I'm thinking about it. Now what? And I said, so we say this is our audience, do we then go to the distribution company and they say this is how we find your audience? And then of course it gets back to, well, your audience is already there because you have a good social media backing and you have enough likes on Facebook and enough likes on or follows on Twitter. And a lot of that, they pick to distribute your movie based on, you giving them the tools to distribute your movie. So that was my one thing. I kind of attacked a panelist, but got him to talk to me and made me think about what it is I need to do next. And what I need to do next is watch an episode of The Closer, which is a great TV show. I wish it was still going. I love Kara Sedgwick. But then I'll get back to work and get this movie into the world. I will never sing again. I'm sorry.